guys, what's going on? It's Alure coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. How you guys doing? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to talk about one of the best epic champions inside the entire game. It is Magic Affinity Demon Spawn champion, Alure. Alure is such a good champion, a very important champion in this game. As a matter of fact, she's one of the few champions that I would absolutely justify building more than one of if you're lucky enough to pull multiple Allures. You can easily farm Scarab King any level with 2 Allures on a team. I'll show you that towards the end of this video. It's not going to be predicated, the majority of this video is not going to be predicated on having 2 Allures. However, I have 2, and I gotta say, it's really handy. So we'll talk about everything you need to know about Alure, how to build a team around her, and you know, the stats that you want to set as benchmarks when building an Alure. You can see, as I said, I have 2 built here, and if you notice, if you kind of take a quick look at the stats, you'll already see that speed and accuracy are 2 incredible priorities on this champion, and really the 2 main things you need to be aware of. The good thing about Alure is she does not require masteries, although masteries help, especially if you're trying to get that extra accuracy with the tier 6 Eagle Eye mastery, but not necessary. The other good thing about Alure is you don't need to book her. I just booked my second Alure only to get clan vs clan tournament points, but I had her unbooked and I've been farming with my second Alure unbooked for quite a while, because as you see, all you're really going to be using here, all you really need in Alure is her A1. So that's it, right? Just have her A1, and you can see the books only add damage, which is really irrelevant on your Alure. It's all about attacking 3 times, decreasing the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit, and you can even run Alure against negative affinity matchups as well, which I'll show you a lot of in today's video. Well, at least 2 in today's video. So the rest of her kit on Temptation, the A2, attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a, 50% chance when booked of placing a weak version of decreased defense, which is actually nice if you don't have another decreased defense on your team. You can use her as your weak version decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. It's handy to have. Also places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense debuffs. Again, not an awful ability to have. She does have very high base attack, 1575. Don't be thrown off by that. She doesn't hit incredibly hard, especially considering her A3 attacks 1 enemy, extra 30% chance at landing a critical hit, and will ignore 50% of the target's defense. I remember on a 6-turn cooldown too. When I first saw this, I was like, whoa! This is gonna be an absolute just, you know, one-shot kill ability. Not the case. Doesn't deal a ton of damage despite ignoring half of the target's defense. Just keep that in mind. Even though with a high base attack, a lot of people pull their first Alure and they think, wow, she's gonna be like the best nuker in the game. Again, not quite, unfortunately. However, that's not what you need her for. She's the best, certainly one of the best, if not the best turn meter control champions in the game. Nobody in the game has an A1 like this with a 75% turn meter reduction. And think about it, on bosses, their turn meter can only be depleted by 50% of each turn meter kind of debuff, but it's hitting 3 separate times, so you can still land that 75% turn meter increase. She's really good, arguably better than ever with the Doom Tower and the new dungeon levels as well. So when we talk about how to build her, you'll see I don't really have much in the way of artifact sets on either of my Allures. By the way, if you do want to go Masteries and you don't want to go with Eagle Eye, or you don't need the extra accuracy, I chose to go down for War Master just to get a little bit extra damage out of that A1, since, or excuse me, Giant Slayer. Just to get a little bit of extra damage out of that A1 because she is hitting 3 times on it. So this is a good mastery tree for you guys to go for, just to try to maximize, you know, the damage efficiency from this champion. So when building her out, all we're really caring about is keeping her alive, A, keeping her really fast, B, and having enough accuracy to, you know, take on the dungeon that you're going after, the boss that you're going after. So how much speed does she need? She has a base 96 speed. I like to get her over 220 speed total, okay? Again, she should ideally be the fastest champion on your team, or at least one of the fastest champions after your debuff or your speed booster on your team. So I'm aiming for 220, but really the more speed, the better. So I'm really prioritizing speed. Don't be afraid to use speed artifact sets as well to help you get there. If you're in the early game, obviously 220 is not going to be realistic, but you guys get the point. Another very important thing is having 100% crit rate. Now, you guys know me. I have a bad habit of building champions with like a 90% crit rate, 80% crit rate, 75% crit rate, and just hoping that they land that critical hit. But with Allure, it's a little bit different. With Allure, you really need to get her at 100% because, again, this turn meter is predicated on landing that critical hit. So really important that you have that 100% crit rate, or in this case, a little bit higher. I'm not too concerned with crit damage, but, you know, crit rate is necessary. And then accuracy. So how much accuracy do you need on your Allure? Okay, so 12 accuracy per dungeon level, okay? So if I'm going against, you know, level 20 dungeons, I'm aiming for around 240 accuracy to be safe, okay? Can usually get by with anything above 180, 200 to be a little safer, but 240 is that magic number for me that I'm really aiming for. For level 25, 24, 25 dungeons, I'm looking at 300 plus accuracy. To get to Doom Tower hard, to be effective against all the Doom Tower hard bosses going up to floor 120, you really need above 350 accuracy. Here I'm right on the line at 347. That's why picking up that Eagle Eye tier 6 mastery on the support tree to get that extra 50 accuracy is going to be important for a lot of people watching, especially if you don't have a lot of accuracy in your Magic Great Hall. So accuracy banners pretty much mandatory on your Allure, and then trying to get as much accuracy as possible out of your amulet substats is going to be important as well. You can see that I kind of went in the direction of adding a lot of extra HP so she's not targeted, so she stays alive, okay? Crit rate is going to be important on your gauntlets, and speed, obviously, on your boots is going to be what you're looking for in terms of artifact choices on your Allure. Now let's go ahead and show her off a little bit, guys. First, I'll show you kind of an old school Allure comp. I use Allure on all of my Fire Knight teams, whether it be stage 25 here or whether it be stage 20. This is a team that I assembled in preparation for today's video. Didn't want to use any legendary champions, so I have a Cold Heart, an Allure, and Apothecary. All have 3 or 4 hits on their A1 to get that shield down. And then I have 2 debuffers on the team. It's okay, it still works. I do have my Stag Knight in a shield set to make sure that we have 100% win rate and we don't get taken off guard by either of these waves. With Errol on there, it can be kind of challenging. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is basically come back to you when we get to the Fire Knight, because this is just wave killing. You guys kind of get, actually, let's see how much damage she does here on her A2, or that's her A1. I guess she already went, huh? I want to show you the damage on her A2 and her A3 here. And you can see that's her A2, 2 hits at around 5k each or so. So we're looking at around, you know, 10k damage AoE. Nothing to really write home about in terms of being a damage dealer for your team. That's her A1 again. I want to see her A3 here. It's on a 6-turn cooldown, so we might be here a while. Let's get to the Fire Knight, and then we'll show it. Be right back. All right, guys, here at the Fire Knight, you can see that's her A1 going into the shield. The nice thing about Allure is she's going to auto into her A1 every single time against the Fire Knight and against well, not every boss, but against most bosses. If their turn meter, I found if their turn meter is above 50%, Fire Knight, she's always going to A1 into it, which is great. You can see again, boom, 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 turn meter down, and once you get that shield down, it's over. That's it, right? I found against some bosses, she will go with her A2 or A3 if the turn meter is below 50%, below half, but it really depends on the boss. It's kind of funky the way the AI works sometimes, but you can see here that it's easy. It's a very, very easy fight, very easy battle, and you don't need Zargala or Stag Knight. They're totally optional here. Just have a debuffer in a shield set or have a support champion in a shield set, and you'll be good, right? Zargala's there basically for the waves, and Stag Knight's there kind of to help against the waves and to debuff as well. But really, the 3 most important champions are Apothecary, Allure, and Cold Heart. Now you'll notice again, Apothecary and Allure are both anti-negative affinity to force affinity, and it doesn't really matter. So I'll show you my main Fire Knight 25 team. But you guys kind of get the gist here, right? As I was going to show you the team, but I realized it was the same team except for with Seer instead of Apothecary and Lydia instead of Stag Knight or whatever, so it's not even that big of a deal. So let's go ahead, and I had a Mausoleum Mage, by the way, in for Zargala as well, but it's the same type of idea with Cold Heart and Allure on that shield, get it down, and that's all you need. So what I want to do is show you guys Scarab King, so you can use a team very similar to this. with an Armiger. But what I want to do is face floor 100 Scarab King and show you how this team works, okay? Now listen, this team will not work if I put like a Lysandra or an Armiger in for one of these two allures. You need both allure. I actually saw this on, I believe, Madshan's YouTube channel. One of his clanmates kind of came up with this team, and it was really effective for me as well. But you can use this team against against normal Scarab King or against lower level Scarab Kings, and you don't need two allures. You just need an Armiger there for turn meter off of his A1, but he does need that accuracy as well, okay? So again, floor 100 of hard, you will need two allures to get that turn meter, but easier floors, you can just put in another turn meter specialist in that role of one of the two allures, okay? Either way, I want to show you this team. I hesitate showing you this team, because I know some people are going to be like, who has two allures? But I think it's important because floor 100 of Scarab King hard is very, very challenging, and you can still use the same strategy on any other Scarab King floor, just substituting another turn meter specialist. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So, two allures, a shield champion on a 2-turn cooldown or a 3-turn cooldown. Valkyrie's shield is on a 3-turn cooldown, but the shield lasts for 3 turns. And the shield is never removed because the Scarab King never gets a chance to go. So you can use Metal Sharper or Metal Shaper.
But I'm new here. Will you show me around?
Or Lodric. Because those are other good 2-turn on 2-turn cooldown shield champions. So Lodric, Metal Sharper, or Valkyrie are great shield options in that place. And then I have a debuffer in Stag Knight, a Spirit Affinity debuffer, and Cold Heart. So I'm gonna come at you guys. I can auto this whole thing. I don't need to take it off auto, which is really nice. It's not a manual team, so I can just let them go. Even though Valkyrie is using the shield, keep in mind from the Fire Knight run that we have Stag Knight in the shield set as well. So you guys will kind of see how this works once we get to the Scarab King. But Scarab King to me is, if you don't have a ton of turn meter on your team, especially once you get to the more difficult Scarab King levels, I think it's the most challenging Doom Tower boss. And I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me. I guess it depends on the champions you have and, you know, how far you can get on Doom Tower. But at least in my opinion, I tried all sorts of teams before I built out a second allure for this team, and I wasn't able to do it. You know, I would have to really re-gear my champions and make them so much faster, but, you know, I felt like this was the easier route to go. So here we go, guys. Everybody has a shield on, and we just keep decreasing turn meter until Valkyrie gets around to her shield ability again, right? So we have the shield. There's the shield from Valkyrie, and then it's just going to be A1, A1, A1 on all of the, on both of, the allures, and then Cold Heart's going to have the Destroy set on. Some people opt to put one of their allures in a shield set, or one of their allures or both of their allures in a Destroy set to help kind of get that shield down from the Scarab King. It will make these runs go a little bit faster, but either way, this is a 100% farmable team. Hey, sometimes you will get bad luck like that. If I had my team a little bit faster, it would have been a little bit better there, but either way, we're going to have Valkyrie go in again with the shield, and we should be a-okay. All right, guys, so we are done with the Scarab King, and as I said, a pretty easy team if you have the right pieces, right? Everything's easy if you have the right pieces, but you guys can see here, none of the stats are really that impressive because it's all about turn meter control, which is the magic of Allure. So guys, thank you very, very much for watching until the end of this video. I appreciate you guys, and as always, take care, guys.